right, welcome to the hair show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. So we're going to be doing the hair right here on this thing. This is a model of the hair. Reference will be the same for you guys. I'll start off with like a little chunk right here. So this is for the notes. You'll do two things. You'll do notes in your sketchbook, and you'll do another sheet with a full face where you can actually do practice of the hair itself. That'll be when I do the final one. All right, so the first thing to do is to draw out what I would call the hair helmet. So number one, draw out hair helmet. And what that means is the basic outline. Helmet. So draw out the hair helmet, and in your sketchbooks, go ahead and draw one out here as well. You could draw out your hair if you want. So it comes down here, off to the side, a little loop-a-doop down here, on this side, same thing, disappears a little bit, comes out. All right. Okay. Erase that extra line using my white eraser or my white pencil. Okay. Now I feel like I can go a little bit faster because it's going to be recorded. So if you get lost or something, you always go back and check it out, get all the details. Hopefully you guys have something like this. So the hair helmet is a basic outline. So without the extra little curly things that are sticking out. So then, I'll give you an example here. So here's another hair helmet kind of thing. Number two, well, just under hair helmet, I'll call it B. In pen, outline confusing areas in hair. Line confusing areas. Confusing areas in hair. You might be thinking, what the heck am I talking about? Well, I'll show you. In hair. All right, so if you have like chunks of hair, like this one right here, little piece here, and you're thinking, it's like, how do I know what my outline represents? Take a pen, and real quick, you can outline like your big chunk. If it's confusing, like here, it's pretty clean and simple. I really don't need that. Over here, it might be confusing. What I'm really looking at, the hair helmet, so I can take the pen and outline where I outlined it. So right there represents where I outlined it in pencil on my project, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is the outlining part of it. And we'll go back and finish that. So that's all part of the hair helmet. No extra strands, no extra weirdness, just a simple outline, clean line more or less. And it comes into the face a little bit. And as you can see with my drawing, that it overlapped the face, I'm okay with that. So that'll be fixed later. And paper towel to see. And on the bottom on the side here, I'll make it a little bit darker so you can actually see it. Here's the hair helmet here. You guys should already have this done on your final project. I'm just going to show you kind of backing up a little bit. And here, a hair chunk comes out and does the flippity dip. Comes around here with a little dilly dang. Got a dilly dang and a flippity dip going on in the hair. Okay. Oops, you can't see that part. Right there on the bottom. On the other side, it goes right behind your head, so I'm going to leave that. And then with a hair helmet, if you have part of your face where you don't see any hair, like right here, see this part? So if you guys can look up here, right here, there's no hair showing through. You can cheat for contrast. So if you have light skin, you might want to go ahead and add just a little bit. Focus. You might want to add just a little bit here. Just cheat. So watch this. Comes in here. Hair goes down. I'll let some of it disappear, but I'll make it come out just a little bit sooner. Right there. So I made the hair visible here and here. And I'll erase this little chunk. Okay. Now I have that all done. Hair helmet's good. Next phase, this stays phase 2 so far. Phase 2, outline big hair chunks. So, like the direction your hair goes. Brody, good luck with your hair chunks. And the demonstration I'll give you will help you, but I'll do a Brody hair after this. Okay, so outline big hair chunks. Big hair chunks. And then do that in your notes as well. There's a chunk here. Here's a chunk here. And then it comes pretty much straight. And then it comes around. And pushes across. There's a little weird dealy ding. So I got the basic hair chunks. Now you can see in my hair chunks, I only have like about 3 or 4 outlines, so that's fine. Hair chunks. Anybody else has Brody hair out there? Who else? Like curly, complicated hair? If you do, I'll show you that afterwards. We'll do a different video for that. 3, dip. We'll actually prepare paper towel. Don't use tissue. It really has to be paper towel. And those crappy paper towels that we have at school, those are actually excellent for this. Like the one I have right now is kind of like a Bounty Quicker Picker Upper or something. That's not quite as good because it's a little bit softer. Towel. Okay, this is how you prepare the paper towel. Watch this, everybody. Camera's on. Make sure you're checking it out. A single sheet of paper, tissue. And do you mind, sir, touching this piece of paper? Letting everybody know this is a regular paper towel. Yes, it's a regular paper towel. Okay, it's a regular paper towel. I'm gonna take this thing, I'm gonna wad it up. I'm not folding it or rolling it. It's like a wad, like this. A little wad of it. And it has to be pretty tight. It should look like about the size of a baby's arm. So watch this. That's a good wad right there. And it's pretty firm. If it's not firm enough, this won't work. So that's why you gotta like try it out. So it's kind of a tough wad. I'm squeezing it. Watch this. So it's kind of a tough wad right there. Watch this as it bounces. So it's like a nice wad. Then put this in your mouth. Bite this chunk right here. So I'm just gonna go in. Okay, so now it's bitten right here. So you can see the bite mark that I took out of it. Nice and tattered, a little bit of a chunk. And I'll get a smaller one for the demo. So for the smaller one, I'll do a really tiny one, the size of a baby's finger. So for the notes, we'll do a similar thing, but it's a smaller version. Here it is, a wad again, not folded. Okay, so we got this, bite. Don't use scissors. Don't use scissors. Your teeth are the best way to do it. And then, after we have the prep, paper towel prep, check. Step number 4, dip into powder graphite. Into powder. All right, so I'm gonna dip into the powder. Where's my little powder tray? And once again, my powder tray, I have it contained so the edges of it taped up like this, so it can like get all crazy inside but doesn't spill. All right, so I'm gonna dip. Wait. Re-rip a little bit. Okay, so I dipped it in there, so it's like just a little bit of the. Now, if you have dark hair, you can go directly on your paper. If you have light hair, you might want to just take it like it's a cigarette and just kind of ash it a little bit like this. So I'm gonna ash it, get some of the powder graphite off. Then you're gonna put it right on here. Look at the direction, study the photograph before you do this. You're gonna tape it on there, drag it down nice and slow, following the direction of your hair patterns. And very lightly, another key, I'll put that in there. So, and if you do it lightly, it'll just come off. If you press down too hard, you're not going to get the illusion of hair. So this is the notes part, so it's kind of a little bit on the shady side, but that's okay. All right, so dip in the powder. 5, lightly and slowly. Lightly and slow. You're going to start at the top, work your way down. One stroke though, one stroke. Start at the top to bottom. One stroke. Following contours of hair.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Would I follow the same process for a bald head?
So yours is going to be different. So we'll do like a shaved head later, and we'll do a Brody head. Yeah, so yours is going to do a smooth skin. All right, lightly slow, top, bottom of the strokes. Then step number 6 is to erase highlights. Erase highlights with sharp eraser. And this is called the tapeworm phase. That's when you're done, it looks like tapeworms. Sharp eraser. And then tape. Then I'll put in parentheses, tapeworms. Don't be scared with the way it looks. All right, so to make sure it's sharp, I'll show you an example here with this here. I have my X-Acto knife. That's pretty sharp, never mind. And then I'll look at the chunks that I have on the hair. So the big chunks here, I'll follow those down. So it comes down here like that. I'll then take the eraser, carefully concentrating, going really slow. And if you want it to go wider and skinnier, you press down a little bit harder. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. And here, once again, I do the final one, you'll see it better. So this is the tapeworm phase. And it should take you a little while. This is note speed, not the final speed. All right, so you can kind of see the tapeworms going on in there. And over here, I got some little skinny ones. Okay. Let me know if I'm going too fast. No, don't do it again. So this is one. I got notes, and you'll see me do it on, when I do it my final one, I want you guys to do it along with me in your notes. All right, so 6, we've got the tapeworm. 7, after we have the basic tapeworm where you can see the lights and darks, then we're going to actually, depends on what it is, but we're going to be adding some shadows. So now I'm going to go back in and add some shadows, so like the big chunks here. And these shadows, I'll put add shadows. With the shadows, just like eyelashes and everything else, don't just do lines. Don't do this with the hair. It'll look terrible. So some of you guys, if you went ahead, you probably just covered your head with like all these like lines like this. Okay, that's a hot mess. Just say no. To avoid that, you're going to look at the little V sections. So there's like little V's in your hair. Oh, like right here, see this V? Nice V notch there. Here's another V. Here's another V. Here's like a really long line, but same kind of concept. And I'll show you how to shade those in. With those, you're going to be doing like I'll call it a V first. A V action, like this. So it comes up, and then down. All right? And when you shade it in, you'll be using long strokes. Now, it's going to be one direction. I'm going to start off dark, and then fade it. So see how soft it is though? It's nice and feathered. It doesn't look like, angry hair. Angry hair will look terrible. This though, you're kind of combing the hair more or less. You'll see that in the final example coming up. All right, so there's other details we'll add, but in general, that's pretty much it. Except one more thing I want to add. With the eraser, the tapeworm phase, and so after that, right down, blend out some of the sharp ones, like in the, see the shadow area right here? So you could take a piece of tissue and lightly blend it out so it's not all the same brightness. That's part of the same phase. So then soften some tissue. And make sure you write your notes so you understand them. Maybe add extra little section or whatever. So watch this. I'm gonna take this. I got my V right here, skinny line. I'll zoom in a little further. So I got my skinny line right here. Then I'm gonna go darker, and then fade it so it disappears. If you have dark hair, eventually you're gonna be using the layout pencil. And right here where it crosses, I'll add a shadow underneath that. So watch this. I have a skinny little strand like right here. Here's a skinny strand going across. Then I'll do a V right here. And don't worry if it's too fast right now. Once again, this is the notes section. This is not the practice section.
If we don't have this kind of hair, do you want us to still take notes on it?
Yes. Because like if you have curly hair, you have Brody hair?
No. The picture that I'm doing, the guy's bald.
Oh, okay. So I do want you to learn how to do it though, because it'll be similar to painting as well. So I would still practice. All right. So then I have like all these different strands. So up close, you can kind of see how it's working. And then I'll show you. So that was the notes.
If you don't have a paper towel, is there like an alternative? If not, I can just go buy paper towels for like.
You could do tissue, but it's going to flatten out a lot. So if you do tissue, wad it up even harder, rip it out, and then make sure when you put it down, go super light. If you press down harder, you're not going to have the strands of hair. So I think I would try that. Okay, I'll turn off the recording for now. We'll come on a second.